Okay.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path...
Okay, wir sind jetzt wieder hier quasi am Anfang. Und wir können jetzt aber auch Sachen, die man schon kennt, wegklicken. So, jetzt, weiß ich nicht. Agieren wir jetzt anders als vorhin? Ja, ist übrigens auch den VTuber ein bisschen verkleinert. Ich hoffe, er stört jetzt so nicht mehr. Ich fand den Text, glaube ich, ganz gut, um das daran anzupassen. Ich hoffe, das passt. Ich weiß noch nicht, ob ich mich an der Seite wohlfühle, aber das gucken wir dann mal. Das Ende der Welt, was soll das heißen? Hast du schon mal daran gedacht, dass sie die Welt vielleicht nur zerstören wird, weil sie eingesperrt ist? Okay, das ist wirklich alles so das Gleiche. Wir gehen in Stille zur Hütte. Mal gucken, was er macht.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Ja, das hast du schon mal gesagt.
Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Habe ich jetzt... Warte mal. Was habe ich jetzt hier? Okay, ich glaube, dann setzt er das automatisch fort. So. Setze deinen Weg in die Hütte fort. Wenn wir jetzt gar nicht mit ihm sprechen, mit dem Erzähler, was passiert dann? Haben wir die Möglichkeit, gar nicht zu reden?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Ich bin immer noch nicht... Was wir noch machen könnten... Moment. Ich könnte mich hier hinsetzen. Vielleicht störe ich da... Warte mal. So vielleicht. Ja. Vielleicht geht das. Vielleicht ist das ganz gut. Wir gucken mal. Wahrscheinlich bin ich gleich dann bei anderen Sachen im Weg.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Wir gehen wieder einfach so in den Keller, oder?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Vielleicht aber auch nicht. Vielleicht lebt sie ja gerne hier unten. Schon mal darüber nachgedacht?
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Ja, ich bin's. Hallo.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Ich frage mich, wer hier ein falsches Spiel spielt, aber okay. Hallo, ich wollte nur mal nach dir sehen. Ich bin hier, um dich zu retten. Ich bin hier, um dich zu retten. Als Lüge? Hallo, ich glaube, ich soll dich erschlagen. Geh weiter die Treppe hinunter. Ich wollte nur mal nach dir sehen.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Niemals. Keiner vergisst dich hier einfach so.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
Sie sieht wirklich sehr lieb aus.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Ich weiß nicht so genau. Ist das eine gute Idee? Nicht so schnell. Lass uns zuerst ein bisschen reden. Ich schau mal, was ich tun kann. Untersuche die Ketten.
You're only making this more difficult.
Mhm. Gerne doch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gerne, gerne.
You're making a huge mistake.
Okay. Das wäre nicht das erste Mal.
No, you're doing the right thing.
Das ist vielleicht noch nicht so oft vorgekommen, aber gut.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Jetzt sieht sie ein bisschen komisch aus, als wäre sie doch böse.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Nee, leider nicht.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Aber warum denn nicht? Hast du noch eine andere Idee, falls es keinen Schlüssel gibt? Ich gehe mal oben nachsehen, vielleicht liegt der Schlüssel dort irgendwo. Und wenn nicht, dann finde ich vielleicht etwas anderes, um dich zu befreien.
Okay. I'll be here.
Mhm.
Good luck.
Danke.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Jetzt bin ich auch eingesperrt.
Is someone else here?
Hey, lasst mich hier raus. Versuche die Tür zu öffnen. Kehre zum Fuß der Treppe zurück. Wir kehren zurück.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
Richtig, für wen?
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Ja, haben sie.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Was zur Hölle?
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs.
Wo kommt die
You're
denn
not
jetzt
sure how
her?
it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her.
Ja,
You won't like what happens if you do that.
okay. Rette die Prinzessin.
Fine.
Oh,
Against your better judgment,
Ah!
you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
Jetzt säbel ich ihr den Arm ab?
You cut into her flesh.
Na toll.
The blade is sharp, and it
Boah.
takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
Sag mal.
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
Okay. Hat sie keinen Schmerzempfinden? Was ist los mit ihr?
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
Ja, gut. Schön. Ha.
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Okay, gerne. Nähere dich der verschlossenen Tür.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
Er hat uns hier eingesperrt, richtig?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Hä? Ja, unwillkürlich, richtig. Was geht jetzt ab?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Nein!
What are you doing?
Kann ich wenigstens sagen, dass ich keine Kontrolle habe? Erschlage die Prinzessin, 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 warne sie.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Ja, eigentlich schon.
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Ja, nee. Erschlage die Prinzessin, erschlage die Prinzessin, erschlage die Prinzessin, erschlage die Prinzessin, wehre dich.
The blade. Move the blade.
Nein.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
Ja.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Ich widersetze mich.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Was genau, jetzt tötet sie mich?
She plunges it into your chest, tearing
Na,
through
hör
flesh
mal.
and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Na toll.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
Ja, schön.
It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
Die hat mich einfach getötet.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Kapitel 2, die Jungfer.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Mal wieder.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Mal wieder. Ich glaube, ich habe gerade ein schreckliches Déjà-vu. Moment, ist das nicht alles schon einmal passiert? Tja. Wir nehmen das, weil er uns jetzt gerade quasi kontrolliert hat.
My tricks?
Ja,
What
deine
are you
Tricks.
talking about? We just met for the first time.
Nein, tun wir nicht.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Die Stimme des Ergebenen ist neu.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
Mhm.
Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
Okay.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
Okay.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Okay, nehmen wir mal an, ich sage die Wahrheit und das alles ist wirklich schon mal passiert. Warum sollte ich auf dich hören? Warum sollte ich überhaupt etwas tun? Wir nehmen das.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
Vielleicht.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Naja, aber...
You were the one who did us in, villain.
Richtig.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price.
Doch, sie ist es wert.
I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything?
Hallo?
If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Hat uns gerade nachgeäfft?
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Richtig.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Ja.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
Ich weiß es nicht.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Aber sie wirkte trotzdem noch nett, als sie uns getötet hat.
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Prinzessin schlecht, Prinzessin aufhalten. Ich sehe das wie sie. Ich werde einen Weg finden, die Prinzessin aus dieser Hütte zu retten. Reden wir über die Prinzessin?
That's right.
Wir retten
Can't
sie.
stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Ja, ich hoffe auch. Reden wir über die Prinzessin.
Just be quick about it.
Ja, sie konnte mich letztes Mal nur töten, weil ich es zugelassen habe. Sie konnte ja kaum das Messer halten. Wie kann so jemand die Welt zerstören? Wer hat sie in den Keller eingesperrt? Was ist das hier für ein Ort? Das hier, ne? Wir haben uns ja quasi drüber lustig gemacht.
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Das ist nicht so einfach, dir zu glauben.
Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
Vielleicht.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. Wer hat sie in diesem Keller eingesperrt? Was ist das hier für ein Ort?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Ich verkompliziere hier gar nichts. Warum können die Leute, die sie eingesperrt haben, sie nicht selbst erschlagen? Warum bleibt das an mir hängen?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
Auf einmal.
You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Oh, jetzt schmiert er uns Honig ums Maul, damit wir bloß das tun, was er will.
Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice.
Ein bisschen.
Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
Du weichst aus. Was verheimlichst du mir?
I've told you everything you need to know.
Ich glaube
Going
nicht.
into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Ah ja.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Das war schon.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Na gut, wir gucken mal. Geh weiter zur Hütte.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Ja, wissen wir
We
bereits.
already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
Ich glaube auch.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Er ist auch echt ein bisschen seltsam, der Ergebene.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Setze deinen Weg in die Hütte fort. We do.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded
Sieht ganz anders
tapestries.
aus.
A prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Krass. Sieht ganz anders aus.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Du hast den Spiegel an der Wand gar nicht erwähnt. Die ganze Hütte ist anders als beim letzten Mal.
Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I
Doch.
hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Doch.
So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
Du hast den Spiegel an der Wand gar nicht erwähnt.
That's because there isn't a mirror.
Doch.
There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Doch.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Sag
I'm
mal,
sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
glaube ich auch.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Wieso solltest du uns anlügen? Was bringt das? Ich will mich ansehen. Ich will sehen, wie hinreißend ich aussehe.
That's a great idea. We have to make sure we're looking our best before we save her.
Ja, oder?
We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
Macht er jetzt gleich den Spiegel wieder weg. Oh. Nähere dich dem Spiegel.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Jetzt ist gleich der Spiegel wieder weg und ich streichel wieder die Wand hier, ne?
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Das wäre auf jeden Fall nicht schön. Wir müssen echt ein Monster sein. Ich gehe jetzt wieder ohne Messer rein. Es muss doch um... Wir gehen wieder ohne Messer.
The door to the basement creaks
Ja, jetzt ist hier auch...
revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight.
Das sieht schöner aus, auf jeden Fall.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Ja, ich.
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
Es wird
You
immer
walk down the
freundlicher
stairs and
hier.
lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Sogar ihr Kleid sieht anders aus, sieht schöner aus. Also irgendwie können wir quasi sie mit Liebe retten. Wenn wir immer wieder eigentlich nett zu ihr sind, frage ich mich jetzt gerade.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
Ach ja.
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh Gott.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
Das ist korrekt.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Also sie weiß, dass wir schon mal hier waren.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero.
Mhm.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence.
Haben wir
We've
ja
been here
gesagt.
before.
Ja, wir waren hier schon.
That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Well, she killed us.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before.
Mhm.
So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
Ja, vielleicht.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
Du hast mich letztes Mal getötet und das hat echt wehgetan. Wieso hast du das gemacht? Ich habe kein Messer dabei. Muss ich dich wieder freischneiden? Was ist nach meinem Tod passiert? Ich muss einfach mal fragen, hast du die Welt zerstört, nachdem du mich getötet hattest? Es tut mir leid, was letztes Mal passiert ist. Der Erzähler, der mich hergeschickt hatte, um dich zu töten, hat meinen Körper übernommen. Das war alles echt unfair. Wir nehmen das.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Hm.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
Das könnte auch sein, dass sie auch quasi einen Erzähler hat.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Du hast mich letztes Mal getötet und das hat echt wehgetan. Wieso hast du das getan? Ich habe kein Messer dabei. Wir nehmen das.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Wolltest du das nicht? Was ist das denn für eine Frage? Nein, ich wollte das nicht.
Did we?
We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
Ja,
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Ich habe kein Messer dabei. Muss ich dich wieder freischneiden? Was ist nach meinem Tod passiert?
You died, and now we're talking.
Ja, das ist normal. Du bist gestorben und jetzt reden wir. Schön. Aber wurde zwischen meinem Tod und unserer Unterhaltung hier die Welt zerstört? Hast du die Welt zerstört?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Hätte dich das glücklich gemacht? Ich weiß es nicht.
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Mhm.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Nicht wirklich. Nein, ich will nicht, dass die Welt zerstört wird. Es ist mir ehrlich gesagt ziemlich egal, ob die Welt zerstört wird oder nicht. Ganz ehrlich, die Welt ist furchtbar. Die Menschen sind eine echte Plage und ich hoffe, du hast ihnen allen ein langsames, schmerzvolles Ende bereitet. Nein, ich will das nicht.
Then I didn't end the world.
Dann habe ich die Welt nicht zerstört. Okay.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself.
Not so sure.
Ich auch nicht so wirklich. Ich habe kein Messer dabei. Muss ich dich wieder freischneiden?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
Okay, wenn das wirklich geht, wär's gut.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains.
Warum nicht?
Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
Warum soll das komisch sein?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Ich will sie nicht erschlagen. Rette die Prinzessin.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
I would if you had a weapon.
Haben wir aber diesmal nicht. Und ich hoffe, das bleibt so.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't.
Doch.
I would.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
Wir wissen's nicht.
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
Witzig, warum geht das einfach?
I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time.
Nee,
Thank you.
verrückt,
Thank
oder?
you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
Bis jetzt sehen wir alle noch ziemlich sicher aus.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
Richtig.
What do we do now?
Keine Ahnung. Was willst du tun? Wir verlassen diesen Ort und dann haben wir unser ganzes Leben, um herauszufinden, was wir als nächstes machen möchten. Was willst du
Let
tun?
me guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
Wir haben jetzt.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world?
Korrekt. Was, wenn?
You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
Ja.
I think I want to leave. And I think...
Bitte bleib lieb, okay?
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Ich will, dass du mir sagst, was du willst. Du musst doch irgendetwas wollen. Willst du die Welt zerstören? Ich will einfach nur hier weg. Um den Rest kümmern wir uns später. Wenn du hier weg willst, dann machen wir das.
That sounds perfect.
Okay, die Musik hat umgeschlagen.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
Okay.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with.
Ja.
You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this.
Hallo? Warum ist er ist echt ein Miesepeter?
And what happens after we walk up the stairs?
Oh.
Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
Ist doch wieder der Erzähler.
That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Ah.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
So frech.
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known.
Er hat uns einfach
You
eingesperrt.
listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
Ja, aber dann auch nicht das, was du sagst.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Glaubst du, du kannst sie öffnen? Wir können sie bestimmt öffnen, wenn wir es gemeinsam versuchen. Ich denke, ich schaffe das schon. Wir machen es gemeinsam, oder?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door. Together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
I told you our love was insurmountable.
You and the princess make your way upstairs and... The blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
Nein, ich werde die Klinge... Oh, hoffentlich nimmt sie nicht die Klinge. Das machst du nicht.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer.
Ja.
I hate you.
I hate you too.
You know, if her walking out that door is really gonna end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works.
Warum denn nicht?
Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
Happy Ending! Um glücklich zu sein, brauchen wir nur einander. Wieso bleiben wir nicht einfach hier und bauen uns gemeinsam ein Leben auf? Schluss mit den Unterbrechungen. Ich habe mich schon entschieden. Wir gehen.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside.
Jawohl! Deine Liebe wird dich befreien, ist die Errungenschaft dafür.
A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Warum wird die Musik jetzt so frech? Frech. Böse. Schlimm.
Where did everything go?
Warum? Was?
Where did he go?
Wo ist der Erzähler hin?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
Nein?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Oh nein. Aber du schaffst es nicht, ihr den Mantel zu weben. Und das wirst du auch nie. Es ist Zeit für dich zu gehen. Deine Erinnerungen kehren zurück.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Natürlich habt ihr Angst. Das ist das Ende für euch, aber nicht für mich. Alles wird gut, vertraut mir einfach. Wir waren schon mal hier und ihr habt jedes Mal Angst vor dem Spiegel. Wir nehmen das.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
Mhm.
Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
Das ist nicht das Ende. Auf der anderen Seite wartet etwas Schönes auf uns.
Okay. If you say so.
Mhm.
We'll trust you.
Mhm.
She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Nähere dich dem Spiegel. Du näherst dich dem Spiegel. Betrachte dein Spiegelbild. Es ist totenstill, als du deine Hand ausstreckst. Wieder einmal sind sie fort. Der Spiegel lässt sie verschwinden, aber du musst sehen, was in ihm ist. Du bist gewachsen, ist die Errungenschaft. Du befindest dich wieder in der langen Stille. Geh weiter zur Hütte. Du stehst vor der Hütte. Nähere dich ihr.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
Haben wir jetzt wieder einen Teil zu ihr gebracht quasi?
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Bist du noch dieselbe wie vorher? Wie sehr hast du dich verändert?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Alles, was du sagst, ist ein einziges Rätsel. Kannst du nicht mal klar antworten?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
Okay, Entschuldigung.
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
Wie fühlt es sich an, sich so zu verändern? Wenn das alles vorbei ist, was wirst du dann tun? Du weißt schon, dass ich dich am Ende, sobald du vollkommen bist, töten werde, oder? Wenn ich zurückkehre, ist es, als würde sich eine unsichtbare Mauer um mich schließen. Warum kann ich manche Dinge nicht mehr tun? Du warst gütiger zu mir als sonst jemand, dem ich begegnet bin. Danke. Du warst gütiger zu mir als sonst jemand, dem ich begegnet bin. Warum? Wir nehmen das mal.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Wenn das alles vorbei ist, was wirst du dann tun?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Wie fühlt es sich an, sich so zu verändern?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Das will ich eigentlich nicht nehmen. Wenn ich zurückkehre, ist es, als würde sich einem... Wir nehmen das. Warum kann ich manche Dinge nicht mehr tun?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Okay. Wen soll ich dir als nächstes bringen?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them.
Okay.
My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Okay. Was denkst du über dieses Gefäß?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
Okay.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Du hast also keine Vorlieben, wie du dich verändern oder entwickeln möchtest?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
Okay, das heißt, wir können sie quasi so formen, wie wir sie haben möchten. Also könnten wir ein nettes Wesen machen, oder? Ich will dir nicht wehtun, aber je öfter ich zurückkehre, desto schlimmer wird es. Du musst mich für ein Monster halten. Ich habe den Gefäßen, die ich dir bringe, wehgetan. Wie viele Gefäße muss ich dir noch bringen? Warte mal, wir nehmen mal das hier, glaube ich.
The vessels are
Oh Gott.
shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The
Okay.
wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I
Okay.
would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Okay. Wie viele Gefäße muss ich dir noch bringen?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond.
Okay.
My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
Ich bin bereit, zurückzukehren.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am.
Okay.
We will meet again.
Alles wird schwarz und du stirbst.